In this tutorial, we're going to see how you can achieve this kind of results in Blender cycles. So as you can see, we have textured almost all of the materials: the wall, the ceiling, and the floor, and this carpet, and this velvet material. And after that, we have created some kind of lighting that's coming from the outside, and also from this spotlights that you can see, and also from this table lamp that's suspended from the above. So we're going to create this specific scene, and you can find the project file in the description below, so that it will be easier to follow along. Everything that almost 90% of the models that you see here are available on the project file, so just go download them. You can follow me along, and I'll show you the mainly two things: the texturing and the lighting. We're going to cover only those two parts in this tutorial. When we start the tutorial, this is the file that you will find if you have downloaded the project file, or you can just see what I'm going to do and you can just learn it that way. You don't have to follow it step by step if you're not a beginner. So what you can do is just, I'm going to get out of the camera mode like this, and first we are going to texture the chair. So I'm just going to select this chairs. You can hold on shift to select multiple objects, and if I go to the edit mode, as you can see, everything is the chairs have similar properties. So all I have to do is just adjust everything that you need on one of the chairs. It will be automatically applied on the rest of the chairs. So I'm going to press slash in my keyboard to isolate the chair, I mean the fabric part, so that I can texture it easily. The first process in any texturing is UV unwrapping. You need to have a UV maps in order to texture it properly. So if I just change this one to UV editor in order to see the UV map of this object, if I go to inside the edit mode, as you can see, we are not seeing anything. In order to see the UV maps, what you can do is just press A, select everything. So as you can see, these have a UV map, and to select the islands or the islands, the UV islands separately, what you can do is just change this one to this UV selection mode, and then if you press G, as you can see, you can select the UV maps separately. So this is already UV mapped. I imported this model from 3D warehouse, so it has UV map already in it. But in case if the material that you have downloaded from any kind of website does not have any UV map, and if placing any kind of as you can see, if I try to place UV seams or to try to UV unwrap this manually, it will be kind of impossible, or it will take a lot of time. So what you can do is just press A and then press U and then select this Smart UV project and change the origin Iceland to 0.01. And if you press OK, Blender will automatically UV unwrap this based on the geometry. So this is one way that you can UV unwrap any object that you have not modeled yourself. So after this, what I can do is change this one to material shader editor, so that we will apply materials on this. So press new. As you can see, we have a principal base diff. We can change this one. You can also see the principal base diff right here. Let me change this one to just triple or double click the name to change the material. So I'm just going to make it share material. I'm going to name it this one. So after this, what we can do is just go to edit and then preferences, go to the add-ons, make sure that you have activated Node Wrangler. Just type Node Wrangler and this will come, and then just activate it, and then just autosave preferences. And then after this, what you can do is just select this one and then press Ctrl Shift T to open this folder. And we're going to use texture from ambientcg.com for the fabric. We're going to use this fabric. So I have placed the link in the description. You can download it, and all you have to do is just go find the folder that you have downloaded. It can be, in my case, I have already selected this one, so just I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to type principal texture. So what this will give me is it's going to apply the material on the texture. So that's the function of this Node Wrangler. It's going to make this things a little bit easier. So I can also press Shift A and add a value node, and then plug this one to the scale, so I can control the scale by one value. I don't have to insert every single value. So after this, what you can do is I'm just going to unplug the displacement. So the kind of material that we are going for is kind of a velvet material. So what you can do is I'm going to press Shift 3 to duplicate this one, and after that I'm going to press Shift A and then again type mix shader, and then place the mix shader in the middle right here. Let me change this one to cycle so that it won't compile the shaders, and let me change this one to GPU, and let me activate this, and then change this one to scene world to see, so that you won't need to add any HDR, right? Just change it one to scene world. It will use its custom HDR, right? And after this, let me change this one to denoising and make it this one. And I'm using Blender Cycle 6 so that I will preview things a lot faster. Let me change this one to 512 so that the texture will be visible clearly. So after this, what I can do is I'm going to plug this one to the bottom part. So after this, if I change this one to 1, as you can see, and then if I change this one to 0, as you can see, it will, if I change this one to 0, it will consider the first one. If I change this one to 1, it will consider the second one, which is the second one, which is white, as you can see. But this is not the kind of effect that we are going for, right? So what you can do is, I'm just going to select this one and drag it. I'm going to add a Musgrave texture, Musgrave, type Musgrave, and you will have this. And I'm going to drag this one to the, plug this one to the factor. So if I press Ctrl Shift click this Musgrave texture to see its properties, as you can see, the texture is something like this. So I'm just going to give it a detail of 16, and I'm just going to change the dimension to 0. So when we do that, we have a more detailed Musgrave texture. So what this will do is it's going to use, as you can see, a black and white texture. So it's going to apply one of the materials on the white part, and it's going to apply the other material on the black part. So if I just Ctrl Shift click this one, as you can see, the black part is used for this texture, and the white part is used for this one. So if I change this one, for example, to let's say red, as you can see, this is the effect that's happening. So in order to control the gradient of this Musgrave texture, what you can do is, first let's press Ctrl T to add a mapping node. Sorry, as you can see, press Ctrl T to add a mapping node and change the texture coordinate to an object so that it will be procedurally applied to the material and to the object. And let me change this one to 0.5 so that we can see clearly, and also the size. I think 0.5 will be good for now. So this is the function of this factor. It's going to use this black and white texture to apply to mix two different textures. So after this, what you can do is press Shift A and add a color ramp, and then I'm going to place this one in the middle right here. So what this will do is, if I just press Ctrl Shift click this color ramp to see the color ramp clearly, let me disable this this denoiser. So as you can see, I don't think anything is happening. Let me change this one to 2 to see the change of this, as you can see. So if I make them close to each other, as you can see, we don't have that gradient between the white and the black. So if I change this one to, as you can see, we have some kind of gradient that's between the white and the black. And if I just move this one, as you can see, the white part will increase, and we don't have that kind of gradient. So depending on our ring, we will adjust this one later. If I change this one to 0, I don't think this will have that much effect. It will have an effect, but not that will be visible with our eye from a distance. So I'm just going to keep this as it is. So I'm just going to press Ctrl Shift click this one. So I think you have the basic concept of this factor. So after this, what you can do is press Shift A, add RGB curves. So what this will help us do is it will help us control the color of, as you can see, I can make it lighter or darker, or I can go to the red part and I can make it more red. So it will help us to control the color of our fabric. So after this, what I will do is I'm just going to plug this one to I'm just going to plug this one to the upper part. So after this, I'm going to press Ctrl C and I'm going to press Ctrl V, and I'm going to move this one right here and place it in the middle. So after this, what I will do is just change this one a little, make the curve a little bit darker, or a lot darker. So what this will help us do is, if I make this one a little bit brighter, so we can use a single texture to manipulate the whole material, and we can just go to the red, for example, and I can make it a red or some kind of green. So I can control the texture by this method. So we can also, if I just press Ctrl Shift click, we can also adjust the scale of this mask graph. If I press 0.1, it will be a lot bigger, 0.05 and a lot bigger. I think there is almost no difference between 0.05 and 0.01, but you get the point. And I'm just going to Ctrl Shift click this one. So I think this is the material that we have got. So after this, what we can do is, I'm going to plug the roughness also right here, since they have the same kind of material, everything. And I'm going to delete this displacement. I'm not going to need it. And I'm going to plug the normal to the normal right here. So I think it's a little bit complicated. The nodes are a little bit complicated, but I'm just going to minimize this one, so that so that we have a little bit clear image of the nodes. Let me select this ones and let me move them right here. So after this, what you can do is just press Shift A and add a bump node and place it right here, and then hold Shift and then left click and drag like this. It will add a control node right here. So I'm just going to plug this one to the normal. And for the height part, what we can use is, we are going to use this Musgrave texture. So I'm just going to plug this Musgrave texture to the height. So after this, I'm just going to plug this one to the normal, and let us see the effect that we get. So as you can see, we have some kind of bump on the black portions of the material. To see everything clearly, what we can do is just hold on Shift and left click things like this, and I'm just going to unplug this one, and then also and I'm going to unplug everything like this, so that we will see the effect of this material. So if I just drag it, move it, or change this one to EV4 for once, so that we can see clearly, we won't have to deal with the noise. So the problem with EVs, we have to wait until the shaders are compiled. So as you can see, we have some kind of bit detail, right? As you can see, we have some kind of detail on the black portion of this this material, or this mesh. So that's the look that we were going for. So we can adjust the strengths of, as you can see, if I just change the strength to 0.005, we can adjust the strength. When we do that, the part or the material that's behind this will be visible, or this normal map will be a lot visible. So I'm just going to keep the strings as it is. If I change this to 1, I don't think we will have that much change. So after this, just let us plug this one right here. Let us plug everything on their original places. So I think you get the concept of this bump that we have applied extra on the material. So let me plug this one to the normal also. Let me plug the roughness. I think let me plug the roughness to the roughness. Yeah, I think that's needed. Let me change this one to cycle, so that we don't have to wait every time it's yeah, I think this one is a lot better. So after this, we can also use this one. We can also use this one for the we can also use this Musgrave to give extra bump also for the whiter part. So after this, I'm going to give this whiter part a sheen, or I have already given it a sheen. So if I change this one to 0, and if I make it 10, as you can see, we have some kind of reflection on those parts. And we can also manipulate if I just expand this one, we can also If I make it 0.02, as you can see, we can control the scale of. Also, you can just change this one in the mapping node. If I make this one to 5, as you can see, it will be elongated in one part. Or anyways, you can use any kinds of ways in order to test uh, your preference. So I think this is looking great. So after this, what I can do is just select this one, and I'm just going to drag and drop it right here, and drag and drop it right here. So for the lake, what we can do is just press new, and just select it and press new, and we will have some basic material. I'm going to rename it. I'm going to name it a chair lake, meta lake. Since we're going to make this one metallic, so after that I'm just going to make this one 1, so that it will be 100% metallic. I'm going to decrease the roughness so that it will be reflective. So after this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a surface imperfection map, and before that, let me change this one a little. Let me make it a little bit golden or something like this. So you will find this imperfection or a scratch on the description below. I'm just going to drag and drop it right here, and I'm just going to place this one in the roughness. So I'm just going to make this one non-color data, and I'm going to press Ctrl T to have a mapping node, and let me make this one to UV, of course. And then we are going to need also the normal map, the normal map of this. So we are going to find two kinds of normal maps. As you can see, this one is inward, and the GL, and the DX is its outward. So what we need is something that's inward. So I'm going to use the GL. So I'm going to drag and drop it, and I'm going to change the color space to non-color data and plug this one to the normal. As you can see, we have something, but this is not the proper way to do so. Press Shift A and add a normal map, and this is the proper way to do it. And also I'm going to plug this one to the vector. So after this, just go to the edit mode by pressing tab, and press 8, select everything, and press hue, and then smart UV project. We're not going to UV unwrap it manually, so I'm going to use this easy method. So after this, as you can see, we have something like this. Now our maps are being applied correctly, and we can see them. So to change the scale, what you can do is press Shift A and add a value node, as we have done earlier. And let me plug this one to the scale, and let me make this one to 5. As you can see, it will be something like this. Probably this won't be visible from a distance, or just this can be just a learning curve in case if you are going to take a close-up shots or something. And I'm going to select this one and drag and drop it to this part also. So now we have everything that's in. Press select this one, go to the edit mode, press A, and then U, and the smart UV project, as we have done for the previous one. So let's say we want to control the amount of this scratch. As you can see, they are kind of intense and they are a bit too much. So what we can do is I'm going to press Shift D, duplicate this one, and we're going to use the previous method. Press Shift A, add a Musgrave texture, or we can use also a noise texture. Let me use a noise texture for this case, noise texture, and press Shift A again, add a mix and average mix shader, and place this one in the middle, and place this one on the bottom. And then after this, just connect the factor to the factor, and then press Ctrl T. After you have selected this one, just press Ctrl T. Let me just try to move this one upward. Press Ctrl T to have a mapping node, and change this one to object. Or we can use also UV, since this has a UV map. We can also use a UV. So let us wait until the shaders are compiled. So if I just Ctrl Shift click this one to see the Musgrave, as you can see, let me change this one to UV. As you can see, I think object is better than the previous one. Let me make this to 1, and I'm going to need a color ramp. So Ctrl Shift click this one, press Shift A, and add a color ramp to control the gradient, and Ctrl Shift click this color ramp to see its effect. Let me change these two cycles. I think that's better. Yeah, I think something like this will be good. So I can also give it a detail. For example, if I give a 16, I can give it a detail, but I don't need the detail for this case. And also if I increase the roughness, as you can see, it will give it some kind of detail, but I don't need that one. So Control Shift click this one. So for example, let us invert this. As you can see, when I've changed this one, now if I just Control Shift click this one, the scratch will only appear on the white part. As you can see, if you just as you can see, we only have the scratch on the white parts, and we won't have the scratches on the black part. So by using this method, you can control the amount of the scratch. All you have to do just go right here, and you can increase the black portion, as you can see, or you can decrease it depending on your need. And for the floor material, all you have to do, just select the floor and click slash number on your keyboard. If you just click the slash number again, you can unisolate the part that you have isolated. So just keep this in mind. So after this, as you can see, this is the floor. So we are going to use a marble. So to do that, just press Shift A, Shift right click somewhere around here, and then press Shift A, add a cube, and I'm going to scale it. But before that, let me give it a dimension right here. Give it 0.5 in X and Y axis, and in the Z axis, let me give it 0.05. I think 0.005 would be good for this case. And I'm going to activate this snap button, and let me change this one to face and press GZ. As you can see, this is where it will snap it, but I want this to snap. Press GZ right here, and then press GZ. I want to be snapped on the bottom part. So this will do, this one and the one that's created will be on the same floor, or on the same plane, or will have the same elevation. That's what I want. So I'm just going to select this one and change this one to H, and press GY and snap it to this H, press GX to snap it to this H. So after this, what you can do is give it but let us apply the scale. As you can see, the scale needs to be applied. Press Ctrl A and then scale. After this, just click this one and let me give it an array modifier. As you can see, before that, let me give it a bevel modifier, since nothing is that sharp. And when it comes to ceramics and a marble, they are not sharp. So let me hide this one for now. So select this one and let me decrease the amount of the bevel. So hold on Shift and drag it to the left. It will decrease it slightly. Let me change this one manually. Let me make it to 1. Let me give it 4 number of subdivisions. So that's one way you can affect things. So after this, I can also 0.1. I can give it just a little bit of gap, 0.5, just a little bit, since there's some kind of filler between the floor. We need this kind of gap. So after this, just press Alt H to unhide this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a count until it matches this one. And then again, I'm going to give it an area modifier again. And in this case, I'm going to make this one 2 in the y-axis and -1, so that it will be inverted in the negative y-axis, and change this one to 0. So after this, what I will do is just make it -0.05 as the horizontal one. After this, let me increase the count. All I have to do is just increase the count until it fits my scene. I think somewhere around here will be good. So after this, what I will do is I need to give it, let me hide this one. I need to give it a texture. So select this one, press new, and go to the material right here. And I'm just going to triple click or double click it, and let me name it floor marble. So after this, what I'm going to do is, as I have done earlier, press Ctrl Shift T. It will open up the folder, and select the marble that you are going to use. You can find it in the link in the description. I'm going to use this marble 12, as you can see. So I'm going to find marble 12. Where is it? Yep, right here. So I'm just going to select everything and select this principal base div. This will the node wrangler that we have activated earlier will do the job for me. so that I won't do everything. So after this, what I will do is just let me change this one to the material preview mode. So as you can see, we have our material right here. After this, we need to UV unwrap it so that the texture will be applied correctly. So just select this, go to the edit mode, and then go to this edge selection mode and go to select sharp edge. Since every edge in this or every edge in a cube is a sharp, everything will be selected. So just right click after that and then select mark seam. So after this, just press A. Already everything is selected, but just in case, press A and then U and then unwrap. So when we did that, the texturing or the tiling is a little bit changed. So this is the proper one. So make sure that the scale is also applied before you have UV unwrapped it. But since we have done this previously, you don't have to worry about that. So after this, you can see there is some kind of repetition, right? So in order to change that, what you can do is just go to this modifier properties, and in the array, you will see this UVs. So the function of this is it will offset the the UV map along the X and the Y axis. So if I just, as you can see, uh, you can hold on shift to change it slightly, and I can also decrease it, as you can see. So this is one way to do it. And also again in the bottom array, and change this one somewhere around here so you can see it like this, and try to see the change that you can make. And also if you press shift A in RGB curves and place it in the color, and now we can control the amount of, the darkness, the lightness. We can control that. Also, we can also give it a little bit of, tint, or make it a little bit warmer, and you can just, control depending on your need. So I think somewhere I want this to be a little bit warm, so I give it something like this. Of course, you can just make this one to 0 and make it as the default one. So this is one way to manipulate it. And to texture the wall, what you have to do is just select the wall and press slash number in order to isolate it so that we can see what we're doing clearly. So after this, we need to UV unwrap this one first. As you can see, it's a little bit complex. There are a lot of edges. So what you can do is just first go to select and select sharp edges. So this will automatically select those sharp edges. So after that, just right click and then mark C. But before that, make sure that the scale is applied. So press Ctrl A and apply the scale. Now the scale is applied, and we have already selected the sharp edges. So just press A, U, and then unwrap. So this is if I go to UV editor, this is my UV map for the walls. So change this one to shader editor and press new. What I will do is go to the material, double click this one and change this one to wall plaster. So after this, just as I have done earlier, press Ctrl Shift T to select to pop out this folder menu, and go select the plaster that we are going to use. I have linked in the description below. So I think it's plaster 001. I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to select this principally base texture setup, and it will do the job for me. So after this, what I will do is I will drag this one to right here. As you can see, this is the material, but this one is a little bit too big, right? So what you can do is press Shift A, and I'm going to type value so that we can control the scale. And let me make this one to 10. So if I make this one to 10, I think this one is or I can make this one to 20. I can change this one to cycles so that we can see it better with shadows and everything. Go to EV again. As you can see, the things that we see in EV and cycles are so much different. I think it's because of this displacement. So let me disable this displacement for now. Yeah, so if after I have disabled the displacement, now EV and cycles are almost the same. So this is the result that we are getting. But I don't want this this can to be visible all over the world. So we are going to use the same technique that we have used before. So what I will do is press Shift D and move it right here, and I'm going to press Shift A, and I'm going to give it let me give it a noise texture. Sorry, noise texture, and I'm going to press Control T, and I'm going to change this one to like this, and I'm going to change this one, press Shift A, add a bump node, so that we will have some kind of bump, and connect the factor to the factor, the factor to the height. So if I just Control Shift click this one, we can see something, right? No, we are not seeing anything until the shaders are compiled. But this one is a little bit too big, right? So what I will do is let me make this one to 20 or 35 or 100. I can give it something like this, and we can also select this one, press Shift D. Sorry, Shift D. Yeah, just place it right here. Let us wait until the shaders are compiled. When it comes to, let me make this one to 2 or 5. We can change this one depending on our need. So after this, what I will do is I'm going to decrease the distance. As you can see, this is a little bit too intense, so change this one to 0.005. 0.005. Yep. And also let me decrease the distance also. I think somewhere around here will be good. So after this, what I will do is I'm going to unisolate this one by holding pressing down the slash numpad, and I'm going to hide this one again. What I will do is select this one. I'm going to, or also I can select this one easily. I'm going to select this setup so that I won't do it again, and go to the wall part, and then hit slash numpad to isolate it. Let me come right here and press Ctrl V. Let me move things around so that things won't overlap. Yep, I think something like this will be good. So after this, what I would do is plug this one on the bottom, plug this one on the top, and plug this one right here. So as you can see, we are only having this kind of things on if I just Control Shift click this one to see everything clearly. As you can see, we're only seeing those on the, if I'm not mistaken, where am I seeing them? I'm only seeing them on the white parts. So the white parts are basically the ones that are going to be visible. So Control Shift click this one. So this is the way that you can control those things on the wall. And also, if I just Control Shift click this one, as you can see, this does not have detail. So what I can do is I'm going to give it a detail of 60. So this will have a lot of detail, and if I increase the roughness, as you can see, it will also have a lot better detail than the previous one. So if I just Control click this one, as you can see, things are a lot better than the previous one. So let's say if the intensity of those imperfections are a little bit too much, what you can do is just, we have this color ramp, just select this white part, and if you just make this one a little bit black, as you can see, we won't have that imperfection anymore if you make it 100% black. So by adjusting this the intensity of this whiteness, you can adjust the intensity of those imperfections. So that's one way to do it. And also we can change, let's change this noise textures to a Musgrave. Press Shift A and type Musgrave, and let me make this one as 1, since the scale of this noise is also 1. Let me change this one to 0, and let me make the detail to 60. If I just Control Shift click this one to see everything, if I drag it right here, and let me connect this to the vector so that it will have the same mapping node. As you can see, the Musgrave, they are kind of similar, but the Musgrave have more detail than the noise. So I think that's the difference. I don't know, but that's the difference that I see. And if I use this Musgrave, as you can see, it will give me a much more better result than the noise. As you can see, I think it's a lot better. I'm just going to delete this noise, or also you can just keep it, and we can also exchange it based on the lighting that we are going to adjust later. And for the ceiling material, what I'm going to do is just select this wall. I'm going to copy all the nodes from here, press A and then Control C, and select this the ceiling, and click this slash number to isolate it. So after this, what I'm going to do is go to the edit mode, and after this, just change this one to this solid view. Press C and scroll your middle mouse to increase the selection. C is just a circle selection. So after this, circle select everything, and then press H. Now we have hidden everything. So as you can see, this is the ceiling design that I have done. So what I would do is just press plus right here and then press new. I'm just going to double click this one, press and type uh, ceiling plaster, and then again I'm going to hit plus and create another material, and hit new, and I'm going to change this one to a LED light. So after I have done this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this one to emission, since I want this to be an emission. Make this one to 2, and let me give it just a little bit more saturation, and let me change the value, the hue, somewhere around here. Yeah, I think somewhere around here will be good. Press Alt H to unhide everything, and go to select sharp edge to select every sharp edge that's visible, and right click and then mark seam. So after we have done that, what we can do is press A, U, and then unwrap, and press N in your keyboard to slide out the stop. And as you can see, the scale is not correct. So what you can do is press Control A and then uh, uh, scale. And then after we have done that, go to the edit mode and press A, U, and unwrap it again. This will give us a proper UV map. So after this, this is the ceiling plaster, and then press A and then X to delete everything, and press Control V to paste it. So this is the material. So the reason what that I have done this is I want a separate material for the ceiling and for the wall, so that we can control them differently. So this is the ceiling material. If I just type slash numpad in my keyboard and get out of the edit mode and deactivate the show release, now you can see we have the ceiling with the material. So after this, select this spotlight, something like that, and type slash number to isolate it. If we go to the edit mode, we have something like this. So we're going to give us 3 kind of material. So let me give it plus and press new. What I'm going to type just white material, and I'm going to keep it as it is. And after this, press new, and then again new, and I'm going to type it black spotlight. So what I'm going to do is make this one black, and then I'm going to make it a lot reflective. So after this, what I'm going to do is select this one, hold on shift and select this one also. This part are going to be black. I'm going to assign them. As you can see, they are going to be black, and then again alt click this edge, but make sure that you're on face selection mode, and then again shift alt click this edge, and then again assign. So this part will be black, and then after this I'm going to hit plus again. I'm going to hit plus again. I'm going to type double click this one, spotlight emission. I'm going to name it like this and change this one to emission, and let me make this one 5, somewhere around here, and let me give it a saturation like this, and let me give it a hue, I think somewhere around here. After this, what I'm going to do is select this one, alt shift click this edge to select this edge loop, and shift click this one. After this, just select this one and hit assign. So now we have something like this. So if I hit slash in my keyboard, as you can see, since every spotlight has the same property, everything will be applied as one. And I'm going to select this one and repeat the same process and press new. And then I'm going to white. I'm going to select this white material since we have already created the material, and then hit plus again. I'm going to type a spotlight emission, and this one is already selected, the emission part, or you can just select it yourself and select this one and hit assign. So now we have the material that's applied on every spotlight. And so if I press 0 on my numpad, as you can see, almost everything is coming to life. So after this, let me give the mattress a material, and I have already a mattress material that I have placed right here. So this is just for populating the scene. So I'm just going to select this one. I'm going to drag and drop it right here. So this is my material. If I just go to the edit mode, as you can see, I have something like this. If I go to the modifier properties, this is a bevelent a solidify. So I'm just going to apply the solidify modifier, as you can see. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use also the same process that I have used before. So I'm just going to select this leg, and I'm going to select this node setup, and I'm going to press Ctrl C, go to this curtain, and then again press Ctrl V, and I'm going to move it right here. Yep, I think I'm going to use something like this. Press this one, plug this one on the first one, and then I'm going to select everything, press Shift D, and I'm going to move this one a little bit upward and plug this one to the bottom. So we have, let us see what we will have. I'm going to type, the slash number to see our things our texture very clearly. So after this, what we can do is, let me give it 16 so that we will have a lot of detail. I can also change this one to press Shift A, type Musgrave. I think Musgrave is a lot better in terms of giving us a lot of detail. So let me change this one to 1 and to this to 0, and plug this one right here, the height to the factor, and I'm going to delete this one, and I'm going to connect the vector to the vector. So if I just Control Shift click this one, so this is what we are having, and I'm going to give the detail of 16. I think that's the maximum value. Yep, something like this. And if I just Control Shift click this one again, this makes sure to see things a lot clearer. I think this is what we are having. Let me make this one. Yep, I can make this one a little bit more. Yeah, I think something like this. For the table, I'm going to use this marble, so I'm just going to select this one, and as I've done earlier, press A and then press Ctrl C to select everything. And I'm going to select this one, go to the edit mode, and press A and then U and unwrap. I have already UV unwrapped this one, and press new to give it a new material, and new again right here. And I'm going to change this one to marble. I think table marble. I'm going to give it this material and press A, select everything, and X to delete it, and press Ctrl V. So this is the marble that's applied, and I'm just going to make this the factor 0 for now, and press Shift A, add a value. Press Shift A and add a value, and plug the value right here, and I can make this one to 2 so that I have something that's accurate. And I'm going to select this one on part. Let me select everything like this, and also the chair leg. I'm going to use this similar material for the leg of the table. So hit slash number in your keyboard. So as you can see, I have given it a material metal marble table and marble golden. So I'm just going to change this one to table marble. I have already the material, so I'm just going to give this one. So after this, for the metal golden, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this material. As you can see, chair leg metallic. So I'm just going to click this one and change this one to chair leg metallic. So next, let us adjust. If I just select this ceiling and press H, let's adjust this curtain. As you can see, this the translucent part. So press new, and I'm going to change this one to translucent curtain. So after this, I'm going to delete this one, press Shift A, and add transparent, and also press Shift A, translucent, and press Shift A and add a mix shader, and I'm going to mix this transparent and translucent. Oh, both of them are transparent. Sorry, press Shift A and click this one, translucent, and I'm going to plug them like this and make this one right here. So if I just make this to 1, it will be 100% transparent. So just place it somewhere around here. So after this, what I will do is just select the parts that are going to be transparent and click this one, press Ctrl L, and then link materials. So now these are the transparent materials. Press 0 and press Alt H to hide everything. So I think we have done most of the material part. So let us dig into the lighting, and based on that, we will adjust the materials that we have done depending on this camera view and depending on the lighting that we are going to use. What we can do next is to go to this easy HDRI. As you can see, it's an add-on that will help you manage your HDRIs. So I'm going to click this create world nodes. It will create a world node. So if I just go to the render view, make sure that you are in cycles and change this one to activate the scene world. We have deactivated it earlier for the preview mode. So I'm just going to change this one like this and give this one to evening road. Sorry, I think something is wrong. Change this one to world. Yeah, and just click this folder and select. I'm going to select this one. Yep, this I'm going to select the folder that has the HDRIs, and I'm just going to select this evening HDRI. I'm going to change the strings to 5 or 10 somehow, and let me make this into 2. Not that it will have an effect, but I'm going to make it to 2, and let me activate this viewport denoiser so that I will have a better view. As you can see, everything is looking a lot great, right? So I'm just going to go to the color management, change this one to filmic. If you don't have this filmic, just Blender Guru has a tutorial on how to install this filmic color management. It's really good. It will give you a really good results. And as you can see, we don't have that we're not having that ceiling LED light. So what we can do is just go to this solid view, and I'm going to select the ceiling. Let us activate this show overlays. After I've selected the ceiling, go to the just click this slash numpad in your keyboard and go to the top view, go to the edit mode. After this, just press C and scroll your middle mouse upward and downward to increase or decrease the influence area of this circle select. So just click this one. It will select the part that's only visible, and I'm going to press H. So after this, the ceiling have 2 materials. The first one is ceiling plaster and LED light. As you can see, this LED light is not applied on the specific part, so I'm just going to control click the H faces, and click this one and assign, and then also click this one, control click, it will select the consecutive H. So just do that and assign the LED light. So after you have assigned it, press Alt H to unhide everything and slash numpad also to unisolate everything that you have isolated, and press 0 to go to the camera mode. And also I'm just going to select this one. It doesn't have any material, so I'm just going to give it black, smooth black. And also I'm just going to select this one. Since they are the same materials, they have the same object data, everything that's applied will be also applied to this one. So if I just go to the render view to see what I've got, so as you can see, I have something that's looking really good. I can also select this curtain, and I can adjust it right here. Just make it a little bit more translucent. You see, Yeah, I think somewhere around here will be good. We're not going to need any windows since we are, well, this one will cover it. So for the other parts of, just go to the solid view. For the other part of, just let me hide this one. For this part, what I'm going to do is change this one to object. It doesn't have any material. Press new. I'm just going to type curtain. I'm going to press X, and I'm going to let me select this velvet material, and I'm going to select the setup right here. Press Ctrl C and press Ctrl V, and after this press Shift A. Principal. I wish I have not deleted that one, and material output, and then click this one right here, and as usual I'm just going to plug them on the consecutive parts, the normal on the normal and the roughness on the roughness. Press slash in your keyboard to isolate it, and let me go to the this material preview. So what I can do is press go to the edit mode, press U, and then smart UV project, and this will smart UV project your mesh, I mean your object, or also mesh. I think the scale is a little bit too much, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it 5, and maybe 8, somewhere like this will be good. Yep, yeah. We can also mix this one with a transparent node, so press Shift A, and then trans transparent, and then press Shift A again, add a mix node, mix shader, place it right here, and place this one on the bottom. So if I just, as you can see, uh, if I make it 1, it will be 100% transparent, and if I make it 1, it will be 100% the texture, the PBR texture. So if I just let me go to the camera view and hit slash numpad to unhide everything, or to unisolate everything, go to the camera view, press Alt H, just if everything is hidden. So just deactivate the show overlays, and let us see our material. Yeah, this is our material. So just select this curtain, and let us see what this transparent will do. As you can see, it's making it a lot, as you can see. So if I make it like this, it will be a lot transparent, so I don't need that. So I think somewhere around here will be good. 0.25 will be good. Yeah. So after this, what I will do is go to the material preview. I'm going to select this one and then drag and drop it to this part. As you can see, since they have the same material, it will be applied automatically. Press 0 on your numpad. Press Alt 8 to unhide everything, and go to the camera view, and voila, this is the result. So I think we have done almost 80% or 75% of the work. So what we will do is just we are going to tweak some material so that the color scheme of uh, the color scheme of everything will be, similar with each other. As if you have noticed, the floor is not kind of similar with the the chairs and the carpet. It's a little bit off, so we're going to match those colors. And also, if you have seen, the intensity of this imperfection on the ceiling is a little bit too much, right? So what you can do is just press Ctrl B to give it a border, and I'm going to give it something like this so that we won't have to render everything. So I'm just going to drag it like this. I'm going to select this part, the ceiling. So we have the ceiling plaster. So what I'm going to do is I am going to select this white part. Just go to the AV just to see clearly for now. Go select this white part, and if I make it more black, as you can see, we will not see those effect. Yep, I think something like this will be good. I can make it just a little bit more white to see those those imperfections. Yeah, I think this one is good. You can adjust this one based on your taste, as I've said earlier. Press Ctrl B again. I'm just going to select everything like this. Yeah, I think the ceiling has a really good material. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to give it some artificial lights. So I'm going to go to this easy HDR and I'm going to change the sky strings to 5. And after this, just go to this the solid view. What I'm going to do is just go to select this one and go to the edit mode. As you can see, we have 3 materials, and change this one too. The first one is, as you can see, it has some kind of image texture. I'm just going to delete this one, and what I'm going to do is make this one metallic and change the roughness. Just decrease the roughness somewhere around here. Just go to press slash in your numpad to isolate it for better preview, and just select this one. If you go to the render view, we have this material. I can change it just for it to be a little bit more golden. So after this, what I'm going to do is press A, and I can just press P and then type by loose parts. What this will do, it's going to make it separate material depending on its geometry, or depending on the loose parts. As you can see, these materials are separate materials. So what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to hide, or I'm not going to hide, just select this one, right click, and then set origin to geometry. Right click again, just snap cursor to selected, snap a selection to cursor. Sorry, right click and cursor to selected. After the cursor is in the middle, what I'm going to do is just press Shift A and add a light and then a point light. And I'm going to decrease the radius, I think like this. So after this, I can just press H and select this light, and I can adjust the intensity. Let me make it 1 for now, and let me decrease the size. Yep, something like this, and press Alt H again. Just select this one, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete everything and press new, and I'm going to press new again. I'm going to name it lamp translucent, since it's going to be translucent. So let's see, I'm just going to delete this one, press Shift A, translucent. Let me mix it between translucent and transparent. Sorry, press Shift A, transparent, and then again press Shift A, add a mix node, type mix shader, and then I'm just plug the things like this, and I'm just going to make it more transparent. If you just make this one 1, it will consider the bottom part. So just if you are making it higher and or closer to 1, this will be used more intensively than the first one. So I'm just going to change this one like this, and press H, and and then press Alt H. Let us see the change we are going to get. So if I go to the render view, change this one to 0 for now. And also this one to 0. I think this one looks good. If I just click this one again, make it like this, it will be 100% transparent. It doesn't look good at all. If I just make this one to 1, it will be 100% translucent. So in the translucent, I'm going to make it just a little bit more, I'm just going to give it some kind of saturation. So after this, just go to right here and then select this one. I'm just going to select everything, but before that, I'm going to delete everything. As you can see, we have material from the previous ones before we have separated it. So just select everything and delete the materials. Select this one and then delete the materials. So what I'm going to do is just select everything like this, and after that, just select the material that has the material, and then press Ctrl L and then link materials. So after this, As you can see, everything has the same material right now. So what I'm going to do is just select this one, right click, snap our cursor to selected. Sorry, just first just set origin to geometry. We have to set the origins to geometry. So just select everything at once, right click, set origin to geometry. So now everything, uh, the origin is on the geometries. Just right click and then snap uh, cursor to selected. So after this, I'm going to hide this one, press shift D, or I'm going to press alt D so that they will have the same property, and just right click, snap selection to cursor. So if I hide this one, as you can see, the lamp is right here. So I'm just going to repeat the same process for this for all the other lamps also. Just right click, cursor to selected. I'm going to hide this one, just press alt D, right click, selection to cursor. As you can see, that's the way that you can place those lights easily. So just do this process. So I have placed those lights. As you can see, these are the ways of showing there is a point light right here. So I have placed those point lights in the proper place. So what I will do is, if I just hide this one and select this one, let me hide everything for once. So if I just let me change the intensity to 31.8, as you can see, every of this point light will have the same property. So that's the function of duplicating it with Alt D. They will have the same object data. This will be easier when in lighting, so that you won't have to change everything separately. But this will be dependent on the lighting type that you are going for. In this case, this lamps will have the same intensity and the same amount, and probably they will be turned on the same time. So that's why I have used the same object data. So just press 0 and then type /numpad, and then again press number 0 to go to the camera mode, and just let us see what effect that we had. Just select this one. I'm just going to select this lamp and press Alt H so that we can control the point lamp, and I'm just going to make this one to 5 for now, and let us see what we have. Just go to the render view. So this is the effect that we are getting. I think this one looks good, but I'm going to make this sky strings to 5 and this one to 1, and I think the point lamp is a little bit too much powerful, so let me make this one 1. In order to see the effect, all I have to do is just change this one to 0, and to select it, what I will do is just hide it. So activate the show overlay. After you have selected, just press Alt H. This will be selected. And then again, go to the rendered view. So by this, we can see the intensity of, or the amount of the amount of this point lamp. Let me make it to 2. I think it looks good. So after this, I'm just going to select this solid view, and then I'm going to hide everything. I'm going to hide the ceiling. Then after this, just press shift right click right here, press shift A and add a light, and I'm going to change this one to an area light, and I'm just going to change this one to disk. So after this, I'm just going to scale it, or I can just scale the size right here. I think somewhere around here will be good. Yep. So after this, what I'm going to do is just place them on the proper place. Press just navigate, press GZ. I think right around here will be good. So after this, I think 0.5 will be good. We can adjust this one later. So after this, let us deactivate this X-ray mode. Press Alt T and then X. GX, I think right here will be good, and then Alt D X, I mean Y, since it's going to be moved in the Y axis. Press GY, I think right here will be good, and then Alt D X again and place it in the proper place. Yep. After this, what I'm going to do is we have some kind of also spotlights right here, right? So let us activate this this wireframe mode, and for this one, I'm going to press Shift D since I want this to have a duplicate property. Then after this, I'm just going to place it in the middle, and I'm just going to let me scale it using this size, and I'm going to press G, Yep. So after this, let me make sure that the height is on the proper place. As you can see, it's inside, so I'm just going to move it a little bit outward. Yep. After this, just go to the top view, activate this X-ray mode, and I'm going to press Alt D and then Y and place it right here. And I'm going to select this light also and just duplicate it on the necessary places. I'm just going to do that. So as you can see, I've placed those lights on the necessary places. So if I just go to the render view again to see the change of the lights, so this is what I'm getting. So I can control since I have duplicated, since all of this have the same materials, if I make them to 0, as you can see, they will have 0, and let me make them 0.1. I can give them something just a little bit more, a warm feeling. Yep, something like this. I think they look good. So after this, what I can do is just make this one to 2 and change this one to 5, so that we will have the effect that we are looking for. And we can also change this one somewhere 0.7, 0.5, you can also change the HDR that we are going to use. But I think for this case, let me change this one just just in case. Just in case it gives us, I think, yeah, this gives us a little bit more better result. And also this one. So as you can see, depending on the HDRI that you use, you will have a different mood or a different result. I can just select this one and let me make this one to 1.5 maybe, and let me give it a little bit more warm feeling. Yep, something like this. Yeah, press Ctrl S. So I think everything is looking good. So you can adjust the strengths of the materials. For example, when we see this velvet, we have almost covered everything that's there is to cover for this material. So you can just change the hue, the color, the intensity of the darkness, everything you can change, just change that. And also, for example, I will just select this whole. Let me make it just a little bit more warmer. So what I can do is just select this one, and I'm going to give it a saturation, as you can see. And after I have given it saturation, I'm just going to change the hue just a little bit somewhere around here. And also I can also change the saturation back again like this. So I think something like this will be good. So this is just a way of showing you how you can just create variation or control the or change the color of everything depending on your preferences. So after we have finished the lighting, the next thing that we need to do is we need to give it more details. For example, we need to place some things on the table, we need to place some lamps. So those are the things that will give your scene more realism. So for the final render, we're going to use cycles. Since this is going to be a still image, we're going to use cycles. And I have made the sample to be 2000 since I want it to have a really good quality. I want all the details as much as possible. And I'm going to activate this adaptive sampling so that it will be faster, and in the denoising, I will activate this render and I will use the cycles native denoiser. It will give me a good result. And then after this, go to the performance in the tiles. As you can see, I have made the tile to be 256. If you have a GPU, this will be useful. In the color management, as I have said earlier, I have used filmic log encoding base, and I have made the look to be 0.5. I mean base contrast. You can change the contrast right here. And then I have made the exposure to be by default it's 0, but I have made it 0.5. Since I want my image to be a little bit more brighter. So this is the render setting. So after this, all you have to do is just hit render and render image. So guys, this is all for today. I hope this was a really good tutorial in terms of lighting and texturing in cycles. And if you want me to do the specific scene in Blender AV, I will do it if there are enough suggestions. But there are a lot of tutorials that I have done, how you can light up a scene inside EV. You can watch those. So guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.